Hey everyone, and welcome. If we don't know each other already, my name is Leah Barrick. I am a functional nutritionist, and my business is called Grace Functional Nutrition. And I'm so excited to be hosting this week-long sugar-free challenge. And I wanted to just record a little video for you to talk about why going sugar-free, what to expect, and how to make this week easier for you, as well as some of the guidelines or suggestions for this week. So, first of all, let's talk about why going sugar free. So, sugar really is everywhere, it's ubiquitous. If you eat any packaged food, chances are there may be sugar in there. And most people eat way more sugar than they realize, especially this time of year. We just had Thanksgiving, we're moving into Christmas soon, and a lot of people's sugar intakes get way more than the rest of the year. So, the intention behind this is not to say never eat sugar, but really just to help your body reset your blood sugar a little bit, which is really important, and help reset your taste buds so things taste sweeter, you decrease cravings, and you get a lot of the health benefits that can come from cutting sugar out of your diet. So, some of those are helping with hormone balance. That's a huge thing I help women in my practice with is rebalance hormones, get rid of PMS, improve fertility, decrease inflammation, improve skin health, improve gut health, increase energy is a big one. I know a lot of people struggle with that. So, addressing blood sugar is really important for that, and making sure that we're conscious of the sugar that we're eating can help. So, in terms of what you're going to feel, what you're going to notice, I know this kind of thing can feel a little bit daunting, a little bit scary. You might feel a little nervous. All of those are totally normal. And so, when we cut sugar out, you might notice more cravings, right? Like any time that you're eating something all the time, especially something like sugar, which can be sort of addictive in its qualities, you're going to want that sugar, right? So, it's going to be totally normal if you experience those cravings. And I'll give you some tips and tricks to help decrease that later on, but just know that might happen. However, after you get over those first few days, most people notice you have so much more energy. You feel better in your body. You might even be sleeping better. You might not have that 3 p.m. slump anymore. The cravings might subside. So I invite you to really just notice this week. Notice how you feel, notice how your body feels, notice how your energy is, and just use that as information. So, in terms of what you can eat, what you can't eat, because I know a lot of people are wondering. So, we're doing no added sugars. So, sugar has so many different names, so much so that you could be eating something and you read the label and you think, okay, there's no sugar in here, but there actually could be if it's under a different name. So there's over 60 different names of sugar. So it can be really sneaky, and food marketers know that people are trying to be more conscious about their sugar. So they're using all these different types. So added sugar could be anything from regular table sugar to high fructose corn syrup to agave to honey to maple syrup to coconut sugar, fruit juice concentrate, date sugar, brown rice syrup, evaporated corn sweetener. Anything that ends in OSE, is going to be a sugar. So things like dextrose, fructose, that kind of thing. So keep an eye out for those, and we're going to pull those out for the week. So make sure that you're reading your labels. If you're eating processed foods, make sure that none of them have any of these names of sugar. Secondly, we're doing no natural sweeteners. So I know a lot of people are really into the stevia and the monk fruit extract right now, which, yes, can be better for blood sugar, but we're really trying to do a reset from all of those sweets this week. So we want to give your taste buds an opportunity to decrease the sweetness that they are tasting. So we're going to leave those out this week. We're also leaving out artificial sweeteners. So aspartame, cyclamate, neotame, saccharin, sucralose. We're not going to be including any of those this week. We are also going to be cutting out alcohol. So alcohol really disrupts your blood sugar, and it can lead to major blood sugar or major sugar cravings rather. So we're leaving it out for this week. We're also going to avoid dried fruit. So I'll talk about fresh fruit in a minute, but dried fruits like dates and raisins, yes, they're fruit and they have a lot of positive qualities, but dried fruit is much more concentrated in sugar than fresh fruit. So because we're really trying to decrease our sugar intake this week, we're going to leave those out. In terms of fresh fruit, this is a question I've gotten a lot from people. So, yes, you can include fresh fruit anywhere from 0 to 3 servings a day. So, if you really want to go in and really decrease your sugar intake, you can leave fruit out this week, but you can also leave it in if you'd like and stick with low glycemic fruits. What that means is it's just fruit that is lower in sugar. So, berries are my favorite low glycemic fruits. The fruits that have more sugar are typically going to be your tropical fruits. So things like mango and pineapple and grapes also have a lot of sugar. So those are higher on the spectrum. This is really something that you can decide what's best for you. The meal plans that I'm giving you do have some fruits included. So just keep that in mind as well. But raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, grapefruit, pears, kiwis, all of those are great. And we're just sticking with a maximum of 3 servings per day of those. We're also avoiding sweetened drinks. So, drinks are one of those things where the calories and the sugar add up really quickly. So, fruit juice, we're going to be avoiding that this week. Of course, soda, that mocha caramel frappuccino from Starbucks, we're going to be leaving that out. Don't worry, you can still have coffee, but also things like, vitamin water, Adwala, they all kind of advertise as healthy, but they are actually totally loaded in sugar. So we're going to leave those out this week. An extra bonus, if you are interested, this is definitely not required, but if you really wanted to decrease your sugar intake this week, you could leave out refined carbohydrates. So these act very similarly to regular sugar, and these are things like pasta, cereal, bagels, certain granola bars, crackers, waffles, baked goods, that kind of thing. Those are also going to spike your blood sugar. So if you really want to go all in, you can pull those out as well. Of course, if you are eating those, make sure there's no extra sugar added. Okay, so those are the guidelines. Do what feels best for you. This is not meant to be some crazy rigid thing. Of course, if you want to go all in, that's amazing. If it feels better for you, you can kind of pick and choose. But we're all in this together. So let's talk about some tips and tricks to make this easier for you. I really want this to be fun and engaging and for you to feel like you have support throughout this week, especially if this is your first time doing this kind of thing. So let's talk about what you can eat. But before that, my number one tip for this week to make it easier is to limit or avoid processed foods. So, with processed foods, you obviously can't control what's going into that food, right? So, if you are cooking all your own foods, you know easily if there's sugar added because you would have added it. So, cooking your own food this week is huge. Like I said, you're getting a meal plan. You don't have to follow the meal plan. You are more than welcome to. It's really designed to make the week easy for you. But all of that is sugar-free automatically. So limiting those processed foods will make your life a lot easier. You also want to limit the meals that you're eating out. So when you eat out, a lot of restaurants, cafes, that kind of thing, they're adding sugar to your food and probably way more than you actually realize. So sugar is hiding in all kinds of things like tomato sauce, salad dressing, ketchup, sauces, some dairy-free milks, bread, all of that. So, you can ask people, of course, at the restaurant if you're ordering what's in it, what are the ingredients, is there sugar? But it might just make sense to cook all your meals this week. Speaking of, meal prepping is my next tip. So you have to prepare for this week, especially if your kitchen right now is only loaded with a bunch of food with sugar. So that's going to be really tempting. So set up your environment as one that really helps you make healthy choices. And meal prepping and having food in your fridge, in your freezer, wherever, where it's accessible, it's easy, you can heat it up quickly, and it's healthy and it doesn't have sugar is going to make your life so much easier this week. So I'm a huge fan of meal prep. It's so helpful. And, everyone meal preps a little bit differently. So some people do Sunday afternoon. That's probably what I'll do for this sugar challenge because we're starting on Monday. You can prep a few meals. You can prep all the meals for the week. It's really up to you, but highly recommend doing that. My next tip is really important. So this is especially important if you are used to eating a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of sugar because you are probably going to have a lot of cravings. So you are going to want to increase your intake of especially protein and also healthy fats this week. So fats and protein help you feel satisfied, satiated. They can help with cravings, and they don't make your blood sugar imbalanced. So we want to avoid that spike and fall of blood sugar that carbs can contribute to. And so you want to, increase your intake of fats like grass-fed butter and ghee, extra virgin olive oil, avocados, olives, coconut oil, nuts, wild-caught salmon, sardines. All of those are excellent sources of healthy fats. And then proteins, you want to include pasture-raised eggs, chicken, turkey, wild fish and seafood, grass-fed beef and lamb and bison, also tofu if you're vegetarian or plant-based, lentils, black beans, chickpeas, all of those are going to help keep you full and satisfied. So if you start to get hungry, if you start to get cravings, reach for something rich in protein and healthy fats rather than something high in carbohydrates, which is going to keep you on that blood sugar roller coaster. Also, increasing your fiber can be really helpful. So fiber really bulks up your stomach and your gastrointestinal system, and it can help keep you full. And so it can also help with blood sugar. So really recommend increasing your fiber intake because the more balanced your blood sugar is, the less you will crave sugar. So fiber is any plant foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, legumes like beans and lentils. So definitely increase your fiber this week. Stay hydrated. So drink water, drink coffee, drink tea, as long as there's no sugar, of course. If you're used to adding sugar to your coffee, I recommend adding maybe some organic half and half or some cinnamon, which can give it a little bit of a sweet taste without the sugar. And then, of course, you want to make sure your tea is unsweetened. You can spruce up your water a little bit by soaking some mint and cucumber in there and giving it a little bit of a different flavor. Another tip, which is so important, is to start your day off strong. So start your day as early as you can after you wake up with a protein-rich breakfast that is savory. So when we eat something that's sweeter or higher in carbohydrates as our first meal of the day, it can make our blood sugar dysregulated for the rest of the day and can leave us craving carbohydrates with energy spikes and falls. And you will end up probably wanting sugar a lot more than if you started your day with something protein-rich with healthy fat and fiber. So really think about your breakfast this week. And then if you have cravings, analyze where they're coming from. So sometimes, when we're bored or we're stressed or we're anxious or we're procrastinating, we just want to eat, right? So think about where your cravings are coming from. Emotions play a really big role in your eating habits. So try to just tune into your body, see how you feel. Maybe you want to go for a walk or call a friend or do something else, and that will kind of switch up your brain pattern as to what's happening with those cravings. So there you have it. That's all I have for you right now. Feel free to reach out with any questions. Follow along on Instagram. My page is Grace Functional Nutrition. Check us out in the WhatsApp group, which is really just a group for you to cheer each other on, share your wins, share pictures of what you're eating, anything that you're experiencing throughout the week. Like I said, I really want this to be a fun and enjoyable experience for you. And just think about how good you're going to feel after this week is over, once you've accomplished this, and you're going to feel so good. So thank you for being here. I'm really excited to do this week with you all, and I will talk to you soon.